First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Cherif Academy for giving me this opportunity to be part of this amazing community and to host this session today. My name is Omar MACHICHI Idrissi, and I am a software developer and technical expert specialist in ERP integration and artificial intelligence. Over the years, I've worked closely with complex systems and cutting-edge technology, but today my goal is simple: to demystify software development. Too often, coding and app development are seen as intimidating, overly complex, or reserved for specific persons. Today, we're going to break down those barriers, remove the fear around programming, and show that with the right approach, building app is very simple. So our subject today it's about prompt to pocket, build app with EA. How to build app. Today we are exploring prompt to pocket, how modern artificial intelligence and declarative frameworks allow us to transform plain natural language prompts directly into functional mobile application running on real device. So from natural language prompt to fully functional smartphone application with Google EA Studio. The phones that we will use is Android phones. I will speak about the paradigm shift. In this executive overview, we compare legacy development model with our new prompt to pocket approach. Instead of spending 8% of time writing repetitive XML layouts and lines of code, we orchestrate intelligent model to generate full production-ready mobile features in seconds. For the legacy model development, traditional app development requires manual boilerplate code, verbose later layouts, XML files, and tedious step-by-step debugging across multi-platform tools. Developers spend a lot of time, 80% of their time, writing repetitive syntax rather than designing core user value and product features. Here comes the prompt to pocket model. By leveraging Google EA Studio, Gemini, and agentic ADA, we shift from manual syntax typing to high-level architectural orchestration and intent prompting. Full mobile screens, business logic are synthesized in seconds and compiled directly into pocket-ready smartphone binary app. Let's talk a little about the historical abstraction of software. From 1950s, we speak about physical punch card, and we are going to declarative mobile framework. Let's begin with the first part, the historical abstraction of software. To understand where EA prompts is taking us, we must first examine over the past 70 years. In 1950s, machine code is developers had in 1950 developers had no software abstraction. They physically punched the hole into a paper card. We have a card and they punched holes. They are 0 and Y's are detected like that. Into paper card to feed raw binary machine instruction to gain mainframes where single physical error ruined hours of manual work. Binary machines in 1950s, the programmer physically punched holes. And the access to the hardware is computing required manual memory management, exact registry location, and zero software abstraction. There was a high error margin. A single misplaced hole invalidated an entire stack of physical punch card, taking hours to fix. The invention of compiler changed everything. We speak about language like C, Java, that allowed software developers to write human-readable code. So there is no 0, 1, there is lines written by a developer. and the repetitive one, leaving the tedious task of binary compilation entirely to automated tools. The language is structured. Donc, language like C, Java replace the binary code with the human-readable structure syntax, like conditions, if, else, while, loop, and functions, other functions. The compiler innovation, compilers automatically translate the human code into binary execution, shielding developer from hardware complexity. Productivity in this way. The automation of low-level assembly allows software engineers to scale exponentially across industry worldwide. So we can develop more applications and innovate. There is an era that we call a classic mobile dev. It was between 2008 and 2020. When smartphone development emerged in 2008, developers were forced to manually maintain separate XML layouts, files, and Java logic files. Building even single screens required writing hundreds of lines of fragile boilerplate code. Boilerplate code is code that is coded and prepared. The mobile apps were built by manually pairing XML layout files with Java and Kotlin activity files. A single button click required the complex view binding, like using find view by ID. This is an instruction in Android Studio development in XML part. When we call a component in an application, for example, we want to add a button or to call that button, we use find view by ID. Events, listeners, and manual state synchronization. Small change in light ID cause unaccepted runtime null point crashes. So we got a lot of exceptions and error just by changing one component. So it's difficult to manage. Jetpack Composer revolutionized the mobile engineering by moving the declarative UI by unifying layouts and logic in pure Kotlin. It reduced boilerplates code by 60% of established the perfect modular foundation for generative EA code synthesis. The apparition of Jetpack simply give help to developers so they don't maintain a lot of codes. The majority of code is prepared and used. And we don't have to write lots of lines to just display one button. This is in the way if you want to create a mobile app in Android Studio or for Android phones. Jetpack Composer replaced XML layouts by defining UI component directly as Kotlin functions. The UI automatically recompose whenever underlying data or view model states change. If we change something in UI, it's automatically gain a place in the UI. Eliminates manual view binding, making code base clean, modular, and easy to maintain. Declarative code structure is structured, and here we can speak about the LLM and the agent way. So now let's move to the part 2, the generative EA and prompting. Here we will explain. Here we will examine how artificial intelligence transitions from simple word suggestions to autonomous coding agents. The generative EA and prompting revolution, from code compilation to autonomous agents and pocket-ready application. So we don't code anymore. The evolution phases of EA coding. Coding has evolved through three distinct phases. Initial autocomplete line suggestions in 2021, short copy passing in 2022. It was the part when we use GPT and also Gemini. And today, from 2025, we use autonomous EA agents capable of building entire multi-file application independently. So into 2021, single line inline code suggestion, developer will still wrote 90% of the code manually within their local editor. In 2022, using the chat assistant, generating code snippet via chat GPT or the Gemini, followed by manual copy and pasting and manual bug fixing in the IDE. For example, if we have a website with WordPress and we want to add the plugin, we can use ChatGPT or Gemini. We got for example, the code snippet, and we put it in the editor in WordPress, and we have our plugin ready to go. In this way, we don't use agents, and we have to manually copy paste that code. But from 2025 to today, Anthony's EA agents with full code-based context, write, test, refactor, and multi-file mobile projects from one prompt. It can create projects, create files. It can do anything. Just you give them the, how we call that, the rights to do that, and they work. You can have lots of developers in one computer. The prompt to Pocket ecosystem. We are now going to speak about the IDE that we can use to develop applications using EA. Our modern production workflow seamlessly connects three powerful tools: Google EA Studio for prompt designer, Cursor or Windsurf, or Anti-Gravity for agentic multi-file refactoring. Android EA Studio. That's what we are going to use today for our demo. The Google EA Studio, a prompt engineering work branch for designing system instruction and synthesizing clean compose architecture with Gemini. There is a Cursor and Windsurf, and also Anti-Gravity. Anti-Gravity uses Gemini that is used by Google EA Studio, and use agentic. So for the Cursor and Windsurf, agentic IDE, they are agentic IDE with repository-wide indexing to adjust business logic, refactor, state flows, and autofix compilation bugs. Let's speak and do a deep dive in Google EA Studio and Gemini. Google EA Studio serves as our prompt engineering control center. With Gemini's massive context window, we feed complete product requirements and system role to generate production-ready Kotlin view model and Jetpack Compose screen instantly. Define strict architecture roles, UI style guidelines, and Kotlin coding rules. Gemini handles massive prompt containing entire API, the documentation and UI spec sheets, synthesizes clean view models, state flow, state managers, and Jetpack Compose screen in one pass. Agentic idea like Cursor, full code based intelligence, repository indexing, agentically analyze your entry to ensure generated components match existing styling and navigating rules. A single prompt modify data model, update view model, and inject compose screen simultaneously across files. Automatically read green error logs and repair syntax issues in background loop. Cursor, for example, and other agentic IDE can create files, do everything, and can manage errors before they appear in the app. So they do the work, and they can do the multitasking without problem. Now we enter the part 3, pipeline and prompt engineering mastery. Writing a vague request leads to bad code. So let's master the exact structure required for high-quality mobile prompts. Using EA Studio, if we use EA Studio and tell EA Studio, please give me app that can add contact. and manage contact. It will give you the app, but the UI and the style of the application and the errors will be a lot of we will see a lot of errors and bug in that app. So we have to know how to communicate with those prompts, with those agentic ADA. Pipeline and prompt engineering mastery, structuring intent, architecture, and high quality prompts. The entire prompt to Pocket pipeline follows three crisp steps. First, formulate your feature in Google AI Studio. Second, let Gemini synthesize clean architecture. Third, compile and run the app live on your smartphone. Prompt intent drafts detailed feature spec in Google AI Studio, defining user interaction, material, terms, and state flow requirements. Architecture synthesize. Gemini generates reactive Jetpack Compose code paired with clean view model adhering to Android best practice. And Pocket execution transfer the code into Android Studio. Today, in 2026, Android Studio can deploy your app directly in Play Store. So you can find it in your developer account, but you have to do some actions manually after that to deploy the app in the production. Let's talk about anatomy of the pocket-ready prompt. A high-quality mobile prompt consists of 6 core components: engineering role definition, explicit tech stack rules, material UI constraint, scene state management, zero deprecated APIs, and clear single-file export formatting. For example, if we use a core prompt element, role definition acts as a principal senior Android engineer. So we specify the role. The target tech stack. Use Kotlin, Jetpack Compose, view model, and state flow. Specific UI constraint design with the material tree components, dark mode aesthetic, and custom card elevations. The output control and guardrail. Statement management include the sees UI state class, loading, success, error, zero deprecated code, do not use XML or deprecated compose API, provide executable single file code ready to pass into Android Studio. VAC prompt vs precision prompt. Here I will show you the difference between just telling things and specifying things to EA Studio. For example, bring me a task manager app in the VAC prompt. So the quality is low. Pocket ready prompt, high quality. Create a task manager screen in Jetpack Compose with view model and state flow. For example, for the UE framework, we don't specify that in VAC prompt. In Pocket ready prompt, in high quality, use material tree card component, lazy colon, and floating action button. State handling, we don't do that in VAC prompt. In Pocket ready prompt, include task state data model with toggle, edit, and filter functions. The readiness contain missing import and bug for the VAC prompt. In Pocket's high quality, provide complete runnable Kotlin code with all required imports. So there is no immediate errors in doing. And in the four case, we have clean architecture vs missing inline code, modern interactive UI vs plain default text, full interactive app vs static wireframe, immediate device execution vs green period. We evaluate the real-world impacts on software engineering metric, measuring time to market improvements and exploring new developer mindset, development impact and architectural paradigm. Productivity gain, velocity metric, and developer mindset shift. So we think in another way, and we no code, we don't do coding anymore. Just to give you an idea about the productivity and time to market gain, as the metric reveals, the prompt to pocket paradigm reduced feature prototyping time by over 95%, slashing development cycle from 24 manual coding hours down to under 30 minutes of EA orchestration. For example, here we can see in traditional development way, we have 24 hours for task. For the same task, if we use for example chat EA like ChatGPT or Gemini or Copilot autocomplete era, we have. Okay, just to give you an idea about the productivity gained, the prompt to pocket paradigm makers can help us create an app in within 30 minutes. Data shows 95% reduction in feature prototyping time, transferring multi-day manual coding cycle into 30-minute prompt driving iterations. Let's go to our live demonstration. Agentic IDE. I will show you some ones and show you EA Studio. The first one here is Windsurf. This is an agentic, and for example, here we can tell him to create an app. I will show you a sample. I will show you the sample. We will tell him create app that manage contact. You can see that the agents do all the work. I'll create a contact management app for you. Let me first check the current work structure to understand the context. I create modern contact management web app with React, Tailwind, CSS, and let me organize the task. You can see he do all the job. He show you all the steps and show you the project structure and everything. Contact manager, etc. He creates all the files, JS files, JSON, HTML, CSS, all the required files and libraries. He will call all of that. And finally, he said, contact management app created successfully. The CSS warning about Tailwind and apply will resolve after installing dependencies. What includes React 18 with the bit for fast development, modern styling, icons, full crowd operation for contact, real-time search by name, email, and or phone, local storage persistent, responsive design for desktop and mobile. And he give us the link to test the app and etc. This is just a demo to show you how it works. We will do a simple app in Android EA Studio. This is a complex task, so let's go to another agentic idea. We have this is Windsurf. I will show you same thing. User app, please. Okay, create sim websites. I hope it will not take a lot of time. Exploring the workspace to see what's already here. Then we will build simple websites. Workspace is empty, creating a modern, responsive website that anyone can open in the browser. Your website is ready. Here is what was created. Main page with hero, about, feature, and contact. Dark theme, responsive layout, animation. Layouts and animations, mobile menu, and contact form handling. Features: responsive, modern design, section, no dependencies. How to view: start easy PHP and open in browser the URL. So just to give you an idea about agentic, we have also anti-gravity that use Gemini as intelligence and use agentic agent tool. We go to the search bar, EA Studio. Like you see, we have here we can describe now and let Gemini do the rest. I choose already with Node Android application. Here, for example, I can tell prompt contact users. Here he give us help, but with added support for custom labels and group organization features. Let's do that. It's just simple. We write what we want, and we click on the build. Here you are. In the left, we have the chat box, where we can communicate with the EA Studio and tell him to add things, to remove things, to change things. We have a preview automatically, so you can see your design of your app. Here we can choose the style and the design. We can choose from what he gives us. For example, sleek interface, geometric balance. Here we can change. High definition, bento guide, for example, or professional polish. So we will use sleek interface, or we can skip and ask him to give us another style. So we do select design. Here you can see animation of anything you want. He do all the work. You do nothing. You just tell him what to do. And you manage the EA and tell the EA, please do this, add this, or anything, or anything you want to add. While creating, he creates the checkpoints. Do an error in generating something or delete something, you can go to the checkpoint in the chat, and you are in the last the old version that was working. He do everything. We do nothing. He creates all files, etc. Here we see the time he spent. Right now it's 38 seconds. And he's using the Gemini 3.6 Flash. You can see also the code and all what it's generated. There is questions. Do we have to tell him to type our computer before asking the type of our computer? You're asking him that. No, we don't have to tell him the type of our computer. We use any computer. This is a cloud application. Sometimes it do bugs. Yes, not bugs, but errors in interpreting. How to see that? Errors in how he understands what you want. But for errors, there is no. Majority of time there is no errors. And if there is an error, you can tell him and he correct the error. For the design, will you give him an image and he will translate it into a responsive design view, or you just accept what he suggests for you as predefined? Yes, sometimes you can give him an app that is in the Play Store. You can take a picture of that app. You give him. He can generate an app that is like the one you show in the image. But sometimes he gives something that is not equal to that. Other than putting prompts, do you still have to code, or you do it only if you want to modify some specific things? Or even that, you just tell him to do it in prompt. You just tell him to do it in prompt. Just when he will finish creating the app, we will tell him to change some things. Yes, you can create your own design and ask him to use it. Just you upload the file here, and you tell him, please use this design. He will read the code. He will analyze what you create. He will use it and integrate it in the app. I think he is still working. Here is the structure of the application. Yes, today anyone can make an app, even if he doesn't understand coding. And this is the why we did this presentation. Any idea you have, you can create your app for that. If you want to manage your money, create your own app that manage your money and upload it in your phone. I will show you how to upload this in phone. It's very simple, and I will show you the app in the phone. It took little time because it's do a lot of work. uh, that kind of applications took 1, 2 days or 3 days for development. As you can see, it generates all the code, the database code, contact DAO. For you, you don't have to see the code. Just wait for the preview. This is the only effort you have to do. Waiting or doing other steps or creating other applications in parallel. So if you have any question, the role of EA engineering. EA engineering, you speak about an EA engineer. He helped EA to be more efficient. It's many universities will stop teaching computer science very soon. Maybe they will create new field. Computer science, not computer science, just the way of doing things. Coding is like vibe coding. What we tell here to the in the prompts, I need app that manage contact users like the standard one, but add support for custom labels. We can ask the same question in a more specific way. If you are an engineer, you can ask a question differently, like I show you in the presentation. If you are a normal person, you will say that I need app manage contact like that. But if you specify, I want you to use, for example, Firebase, to use a specific library, to use specific things. Here you give to the ESCU the way and the way and how he can think and answer and what to use, and it will be more efficient and we will get a good response and good answer. Here he said, I have complete building the contact manager Android app featuring custom label and group organization. Key implementation highlights: custom label system, dynamic phone, email, and address feed support with pre-loaded custom labels, group organization, full group management enabling user-defined group, modern contact list, instant search bar, alphabet section headers, quick action triggers, room local persistence, reactive database architecture using room, Kotlin, and he give details, material and adaptive icon, full edge-to-edge compose interface, and he give you a checkpoint for that. Now he is applying the sleek interface design theme to the app, because we told him to use that theme, that design. We can go to the checkpoints and see the version, but for me he's still working because the sleek interface is not yet used. He is connecting to virtual device and he will show us what he did and the result. For that, we have to be a little patient with the EA because it do what we do in locked. Here the code is finished. We have all files that we use in Android app. For Android developer, he suggests him know what is it. Just be patient for a little, just to give you to see the app. We can also publish directly to the phone. I will see if I can do that. I could do that. So we have to plug our USB cable with the phone. Question. Just to the system. Do you think learning coding will still a must in the future for those who want to be in the field, in this or only few sections, especially those who will work in maintained system? I think for those who will work in maintained system, in the future they will just learn how to build system and make a good architecture and how to manage things. In future we will think to the and create ideas and we will let EA generate that idea and see that in real. So it will be no limit in creativity. In future, the way of thinking will change, and it's changing. It will not change. It's changing right now. Okay, I'm connecting my phone to the computer so I can show you the app. For that, we active the debug mode, the developer option mode, and we use the debug mode for the phone. Install, and we use Google Chrome. Hope it will work. We need Studio here. To use and to publish and to install the app in phone, we have to use Google Chrome browser. Install. Okay, enable mode. Install via USB. As you can see, he downloaded Antipath and APK and he installed the application and he upload the application. If you have a good space in your phone, like you see the app, you can see the app. Here is the app in the preview mode, but you see the preview of the app in we can add new contact, etc. Here, for example, for me, this is a problem. I can't see the last name, first name, and the label. I can ask him to change that. This is just to show you that it's working, and I think it's okay for me. It took a long time. Thank you, everyone, for your time.